I'm Terabytes with the Jacksonville RollerGirls, and I'm here with Meow Mix, who is not only one of our all-star skaters, she is the captain of New Jack City Rollers, a WFTDA representative, and also a coach of the Magic City Misfits. So Meow, tell me a little bit about the Jacksonville RollerGirls.
Jacksonville RollerGirls were created in 2006, and we currently have a travel team, a B team, and then our 2 home teams. We became full WFTA in 2010. We were WFTA apprentice in 2009, became full WFTA in 2010, and just last year, which was 2012, our travel team went to regionals to try to play for a chance at championships. So like I said, we have our travel team and then our B team and our 2 home teams. So the home teams are comprised of the home team girls that need the bouting experience, and then our B teams skate against other teams in Florida, and our travel team travels to places like Texas, Wisconsin, Nebraska, and hopefully this year we will be traveling to regionals again.
So you've mentioned WFTA a few times. What is the WFTDA?
WFTDA is the Women's Flat Track Derby Association. It is a governing body for the roller derby leagues. So there's an application process. There is an apprentice program. So even before you are a part of WFTDA, you have to go through an apprentice program. And that usually lasts from 6 months to a year. And then once you are done with your apprentice program, you have to play in sanctioned games, which is WFTDA sanctioned, and that's how you gain your rank in the WFTDA ranking system.
So what is the difference between a sanctioned game and a non-sanctioned game?
Let's say you would have River City Rat Pack versus Ocala Cannibals. Now those two are, that's one of our B teams, and then the Cannibals are a team in Florida, and those 2 would be non-sanctioned. And then a sanctioned game would be New Jack City Roller All-Stars versus Cincinnati RollerGirls or Alamo City RollerGirls. So it's a little bit more intense, and not to take away from the other bouts, because those are just as intense and just as real.
So there's no difference with rules, there's no difference with anything else. It's all purely for the WFTDA rankings.
Yes, no difference with rules, and no difference with it being real or not real. The B team girls and all the teams around Florida, they work just as hard. It's for records, and it's for the rankings calculator for our the point spread to be put in the rankings calculator so we can make it into the playoffs.
And is WFTDA just stateside, or is it international?
There are teams all over the world. So you have teams in England, you have teams in Canada, and you have teams in the United States, and they just had a couple of teams across the pond too. So, I mean, there are so many teams in the WFTDA, and all of these teams have gone through the apprenticeship program, and they kind of learn the ins and outs on what they have to do, how to become ranked, what they vote on, and that's where the WFTA reps jobs come in. And someone like me, I'm always on the boards, and I'm always making sure that Jacksonville RollerGirls gets their say in the WFTA by our WFTA reps representing us.
So this year, the WFTDA, or just not even this year, recently, like last month, implemented a new type of ranking system. Seems to have everybody up in a little bit of an uproar. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that and how the Jacksonville RollerGirls fit in with it?
Well, before you would have your regions, so you would have your north and south and your east and west regions. And within your region, you would compete within that region, and then you would try to go to regionals. And then if you would make it within the top 3 at regionals, you would go to championships. So they would take 3 from here, top 3 from here, and top 3 from here, going all to championships. This year it's a little bit different. It's the same thing in regards to the people that are going to championships, the numbers that are going to championships, but it's now we are in divisions. 1 through 40 is Division 1, and then 41 and so on is consisted with Division 2 and Division 3. So Jacksonville RollerGirls, New Jack City Rollers are Division 1 this year. We are currently sitting at number 40. So we're on the cusp of Division 1 and Division 2. And this is why every single game that we play, every single point we score, every single move we make, whether it be a wrong move or a right move, is so important in these WIFTA sanctioned games, because if we lose one game, our rank will be bumped down. And if we make it to, if we're ranked number 41, we won't be able to play at the divisional playoffs in order to have a chance to get into championships. So come June, when they decide the rank 1 through 40, if we're sitting at 41 because we lost a game or we had a bad showing or we just had a bad day, we do not get the chance to play at Division I playoffs. Now, WIFTA also added a Division II playoffs, but we are definitely working for a Division I playoff spot, and we are going to fight tooth and nail to keep our rank above 40.
And when will we find out if we've made it into the playoffs?
The cutoff for WFTDA and playoffs is in June. So technically our season runs from January until June, and we find out in July if we make it to playoffs. So every single game that we play from January, February, March, April, May, and June is counted towards that ranking period. So you go, your rank fluctuates. You could, we could be number 20 today and then lose against a team that's lower ranked than us and be number 60 tomorrow, because it flip-flops all the time. So we will know in June. So from here until June, every game needs to be a win.
So the biggest thing with this ranking change is that the leagues no longer vote on their rankings. The system is using some complex algorithm to mathematically figure out where the team's ranked based on the difficulty in games, the strength of game, who you've played it. So taking all that into consideration, how was it making the schedule this year?
Horrible. No. I'm the person that makes our travel team schedule, and it's hard because you don't know. With this coming into effect this year, we didn't know what weight, because each team has a weight. So we didn't know what weight we would have. We didn't know what weight they would have. So what I did is I just emailed like 100 different leagues, and what we want to do is play the hardest team. I think the reason why we got to where we are now is not by playing teams that we can just run over. Yes, we play some teams that are a little bit easier, and that's for our mental status, so we can get that boost that we need. But 90% of the teams that we have played last year and this year have been higher ranked teams that we go into the underdog, and we go into them, saying we're not going to get any better unless we push hard, dig down deep, and play teams that we're going to learn something from, and that we are going to find something new about ourselves. Because like I said, you don't get anywhere by playing teams that you're going to beat 150 points or above. We strive for the games that are within 10 points. We strive for the teams that can challenge us. So we definitely like the challenge, we want the challenge, and we're totally ready for the challenge this season.
So this year, along with all the other changes, we have yet another huge one, and that is the new rule set that was released. So tell the fans a little bit about what they can expect on the April 14th and 20th bouts. When they come see us, it's going to be different this year.
There's two major changes in the rule set. There is single whistle starts now. So the first whistle blows and every single person, both the jammers and everyone in the pack, move forward and the game starts. The second biggest difference, biggest change that is happening within WIFTA rules is we do not have minors anymore. So that means that there might be a little bit more trips to the box, but there are no more minors and there's only majors. So instead of the minors racking up, you're just going to get called to the box instead of having these minors rack up on the whiteboard. So it'll be a little bit more interesting for the fans, because sometimes fans come in and they're like, what did she do? I don't get it. I didn't see what she did, and she's getting a minor for it. What are minors? What are majors? With the fans, it's only going to be a major now, back blocks and basically holding or track cuts. Now, if you cut one person, you're going to the box. So we've been working really, really hard to adapt to this new rule set. Our coaches, Powder and Streak, have been absolutely fantastic with letting us adapt and making drills to adapt to this new rule set, because it's a different animal. It's a different monster that we have to practice. And before, you had your mindset of, oh, I could cut one person, and now you can't. And as you all know, if a jammer goes to the box, that's detrimental. That is 30 points that we just can't give up. So the rule change is something that we've really, really tried to prepare for this year. And it's great because one of our coaches, Powder, he's a rule head. He's the rule guy, and he's the one that really knows the rules up, down, inside and out, and back and forth. So he's really pushed us to become a cleaner team, a smarter team, and a more focused team.
This year we've already had a lot of change within the New Jacks roster. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's happened since last year?
Our roster has changed dramatically. We have added 3 or 4 new people. We've had 2 transfers that are on the all-star teams, and then within the whole league itself, Jacksonville RollerGirls, we've had around 5 or 6 transfers. So we've had Jam Starella transfer, and she's originally from Fort Myers. We've had Haha Hazley transfer, and she's from Boston. We lost Terabytes, and we lost Daisy. And we've had a lot of people transfer to the league, but Jacksonville has a system where they have to be with the league for a certain amount of time before they can try out for New Jacks. So we have Sketchy Bomber from Central that transferred. We had Aaron Go Brawl from Ocala that transferred, and we also have Miss Jackson from Ocala that transferred. So these 3 are kind of waiting in the wings to serve their time and then try out for New Jacks. And our tryouts are once every 6 months. So if they transfer 6 months ago, they have to wait that 6 months period to try out per our bylaws. So we've had a lot of shift in movement with our rosters and our charters for our games. But it's a great shift in movement because they are welcome transfers. And we definitely are sad that we lost you guys, but we're really happy to have these girls on the track with us because it's given us a little bit, it's pushed us a little bit harder because it's not just someone coming in from the league, it's someone who's come from a different league, and we want to show them that we're doing things correctly and that we're a competitive league, we're a hard-hitting league, and we're a very professional league. So we definitely want to make them feel more at home and travel around with them with New Jacks. So we're excited about them this year.
So this Sparkles Momentum character has appeared kind of out of nowhere, what the fans are going to think, but why don't you tell us how she's ended up here?
Sparkles Momentum is our mascot. She's a lovely broad. She gives us the push that we definitely need. So New Jacks wanted a mascot, and what better mascot than having a unicorn, because unicorns are magical and powerful. And last season, a lot of people were saying that New Jacks had momentum and that we came out of nowhere. So we kind of put the name Sparkles Momentum together, and she's now our mascot. It's kind of cool walking into a game and bringing this little dilly here with us. And the team is kind of like, they kind of think that we're soft, or, you know, because we have a unicorn as a mascot. It's not like this tiger or some really mean animal. It's a unicorn. And then we beat them up on the track, and then we prove our point because we're still bad even though we have a unicorn as a mascot. We're magical. We love Sparkles.
So what is the mindset of New Jacks this season?
We want to be prepared and focused. Last year we learned a lot about ourselves and about our style of play. We are sisters, we love each other on the track and off the track, and we practice We have 2 travel team practices a week, so we definitely, and then we have our league practices. So our girls are practicing 3 to 4 times a week, and we scrimmage against the men's team. So the mindset this season is to be prepared, is to be focused, and and we definitely want to be controlled. We know the talent that we have on the team, and we know what we need to do. We just want to be mentally focused with it. And I think this year we've been doing way more mental exercises than that we've ever done, and we're ready for it, and we're focused this season. And we definitely have been training hard to back it up on the physical side, and now we're training hard to be there and meet that level on the mental side as well.
And why should the fans come out on the 14th and the 20th to see the New Jack City Rollers?
Because like I said before, and I said it 10 times, but every game counts that we play. It's stressful, and you know, I'm a jammer sometimes, and I get out on the line, and there's so much pressure for a jammer to do right, to make one step. If you make a wrong move, then you go to the box and there's 35 points scored on you. You're the person that you're gonna make or break that game. And it's important for our fans to be there because we definitely need your support. We need you to be there to cheer us on and to kind of ease that stress for us, because if I'm a skater and I walk in on April 20th and there's no one there, it's going to be a lonely game, and it's going to be a harder game than it would without you. So it's so important for our fans to be there, because every single person, every single face, every single cheer, claps, everything, that helps us, and that's what motivates us. We're motivated by you, and we definitely need you out there to support us, because without you, we would be nothing. So our fans are probably the one most important thing and piece of the puzzle that we really need their support for.
And at this year's home bouts, they'll also be able to meet Sparkle's momentum and take a few pictures, or maybe she'll learn how to sign an autograph or two. But we look forward to seeing you guys out on April 14th in Lake City and April 20th at the UNF Arena, where you'll also catch the Magic City Misfits take on the South Carolina Wrecking Balls.
It's really important for our fans to come out on April 20th at the UNF Arena. Doors open at 5 p.m. Meet me and the rest of the New Jack City Rollers All-Stars, along with MCM and all of Jacksonville RollerGirls.